Teneo doesn't necessarily see SD-WAN as a cost saver. You need to take each customer and each company at face value. You need to look at what their needs are, what their success criteria is, what's their return on investment. Some companies are looking at just, I need to save costs and bandwidth, etc. Other companies actually say, I need to get the benefits of SD-WAN. I need my staff to be looking after newer things, not business as usual. The methodology that Teneo are using to help guide customers through this SD-WAN maze is CAPS. That stands for cost, agility, performance and security. The benefit of that is each SD-WAN vendor is doing something a bit different, and you need to understand the customer's requirements to then look at which is the right SD-WAN vendor. So we take customers through what are the cost savings they're looking to get, how agile do they need to be, what does their company require them to do, what's the performance they need to get out of it, what are they using? Are they using it in the cloud, are they using SaaS, infrastructure as a service, whatever, and also then how secure does it need to be? Are you looking to remove other things from the WAN edge? What's the situation? So our methodology is all about gaining that information from the customer so we can then make the right recommendation. So when you're looking at SD-WAN is this big encompassing thing that there's 4 different areas that you need to cover. Each of the vendors are attacking that area in a different way, which means you have to compare things. And it's not about comparing apples with oranges or apples with bananas. They're all a different flavour or type of apple. So you need to look at these different areas and how each vendor is actually coming at the market. You have some that are coming at path selection in a different way. The ability to, how do I control traffic around the network? How do I choose which is the best circuit to use at what time? Is that going to be automatic, or do I actually have to set SLAs? Some have different routing capabilities and can come at things in different ways. Others have different security models, etc. Coming back to our CAPS methodology, you need to be able to look at the vendors and actually look at what your requirements are and then see which vendor fits into your requirements. We've seen SD-WAN vendors announce alliances with carriers. Carriers announcing that they're going to be providing SD-WAN as a service, utilising specific vendors. In my opinion, the challenge is the fact that SD-WAN gives you the ability to be agile, gives you the ability to use the technology, the underlying connectivity that you need, rather than being hooked into a carrier. So you have to ask the questions of your carrier and anyone you're looking at is, how do I make sure I still get the agility of the underlying circuits that I need? Do I utilise a carrier? Or do I utilise a more specialist integrator that can provide you with the maybe different circuits from different carriers, the managed service that you need, or just the professional services, and not hook you into saying, oh, you want to add another circuit, you need to buy it from us. In fact, you can actually just buy it in country and utilise the best circuits. I think the challenge with SD-WAN when customers are looking to deploy it has been the fact that marketing has been telling you it's easy, you can just throw it in. Customers need to be aware that they need to do the same amount of preparation, same amount of design, same amount of thought as if they were replacing their MPLS network with another MPLS network. What we do is then look at helping a customer through it and helping a customer really understand what is currently happening within their network. Because when you're doing these deployments, more things pop up than you realise, and when you're going to make that change, you need to make sure that you understand your current network and make sure you understand where you want to get to with the existing network. So last year we talked about the SD-WAN market being very much like a 400-metre race. I actually believe that 2017 was almost that first 300 metres. You saw vendors vying for position, you saw them adding more features and getting ready for that last sprint. I believe that 2018 is that last sprint, and you'll start to see maybe some more acquisitions and some consolidation of the market, but I believe now that we're going to see a real sprint to be the leaders of the market. Customers who have a networking team, if you believe the marketing hype, should be able to run an SD-WAN solution in-house. The real bigger challenge is when you're looking at things like that is how much the network and the business is now run 24/7. It's having that capability 24/7 to answer problems when they come up. The benefit of SD-WAN and outsourcing that to a service provider is, and as we saw previously, a lot of companies already had managed networks anyway. It's the ability for your staff to be getting on with driving the business forward, not worrying about business as usual. The keeping of MPLS networks. People have obviously invested a lot in MPLS networks, and also people have concerns about suddenly moving everything to be just over the internet. Although they're utilising cloud applications like Office 365, where you're putting business traffic across the internet, the actual running of your whole business across it is still a concern for people. What we're seeing is customers utilising a single MPLS circuit and augmenting that then with internet circuits to decide which way the best way the traffic should go and which way is performing the best. When SD-WAN first came to the market, cloud adoption was the driver to actually utilise SD-WAN. The ability to connect to virtual private clouds in AWS, Azure, simply, easily, not from just a central location, but all the remote offices, that was the driver, and what many of the vendors were pitching that initially. What we're seeing now, though, is that SD-WAN is moving more not just to the infrastructure or platform as a service, but also software as a service. The ability to utilise the same technology to connect to things such as Office 365 or Google Apps or other cloud applications, utilising hosted SD-WAN appliances in the cloud. We're going to see more and more people take up proof of concepts, and we're going to see more and more vendors either leave the market space or really start to emerge out as leaders. The most successful SD-WAN projects that we're being involved in are the ones where we're involved early, where we're helping define the technology, we're helping define the success criteria, and we're even being involved within the bake-offs, whether we support that technology or not. Then understand their network and really look at the migration policies and the processes and how we move forward that way.
Okay, I think one question about cloud.
Yeah.
And then if there's anything we haven't missed.
It's a bit fluffy, yeah.
No, that's okay.
Oh, the cloud is. Come on, he got it.